And okay, cool, recording has started. Yes, ding, thank you, it was perfect timing. So, anyway, hi everyone. So, normally I do this as a in-class exercise with the entire group. However, given the fact that, that does not appear, if you're watching this video, obviously we are not in class right now. So, what we're going to be talking about right now is going to be, as we went over SDLC in another video, I'm going to just break this down into something that, you could use in everyday life as well. And we're going to use that as a little exercise. And the exercise that I'm going to use is the 6 thinking hats. Now, if you go and look on these 6 thinking hats, there's multiple different, little images that try to explain all the process. And sometimes they give the hats slightly different names and slightly different features. And every now and then they like to add a 7th hat or an 8th hat or take a hat away. Or, there's always these sort of things where people always try to just make something into their own. And, well, we're going to do that ourselves in this particular class. So let me just move this over here. We have ourselves what I like to just refer to as the 6 Thinking Hats worksheet. Now, I will have links up for everyone to look up for the in class for them to look up different guidelines on the hats and whatnot, but what we're going to do is we're just going to solve a problem. Or not just solve a problem, but come up with solutions to solving a problem. Because if there's one thing I have, not repeated enough, it's that it's not about knowing the answer, it's about knowing how to find the solution. Okay? Everyone can do, what's 12 times 12? It's 144. Why do we know that? Because that's where the flashcards went. They went from 0 times 0 to 12 times 12. Now, if you were to say, hey, what's 17 and a quarter times 13 and a half? Oh, you can't just memorize that off the top of your head. Now you need to actually find a structure and how to use it. So, I'm going to use an example right here, live-ish, considering it's a recording, and we will go in and we will, have a problem to solve. Now, obviously, put your name and your date right here, so on and so forth, easy enough. And what's the problem you want to solve? Now, I'm going to get the obvious one out of the way because someone says this every single time there's a class. There's the school, school food is bad. Problem to solve. I want better school food. I want better school food. Okay, now obviously you are not using this example because it's in the video. You're going to have to come up with your own thing that you want to solve. It doesn't have to be world peace. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can be something small. Just something you would like to have fixed. So the first thing we're going to do is, now that we have established that we have ourselves a problem, well, that's what we're going to use the blue hat for. Now, the blue hat is called like the guidance hat or the process hat, or I'm basically saying, think of it like Pirates of the Caribbean. What's the code of the pirate? What are the guidelines that we're going to be doing here, okay? So, obviously, some guidelines are, well, we have food. Well, what do we want? Well, we want this food to be, inexpensive, right? Inexpensive. Helps when I can spell. We also want it to be, healthy. Let's say that. We want it to be healthy. And, we want it to actually taste good. Now, obviously, these are all subjective things as far as, how healthy you count something, or how inexpensive you count something, or if even something tastes good. So, normally, in cases of business, you're going to get these 3. You're going to get, does it make money? Does it, is it ethical? And is it legal? That's going to be the 3 that you wind up getting in business, and you will get 2 out of 3, most likely. So chances are, well, if it's legal and it makes money, ethical goes away. But I want you to just make up 3 or 4 different criteria. What is it you want this to be? What are the rules you want this problem to have when you solve it? Because, we could honestly have solution 1 be, just, throw rocks at people's faces and eat the rocks. That doesn't mean it's going to actually fit any criteria that we want to have. So the blue hat is going to be our criteria, our guidelines. What is it we want? So obviously the first solution that comes to someone's mind, I want better food. Okay, let's get a better catering company. That is literally the first idea that popped into my brain. Okay, so that's what you put in your first solution. What is the first idea that pops into your brain? And now we're going to go through this process of this color coding here. So first is the red hat. Because whenever you have an idea or you hear something, you always have that first gut instinct. What is your immediate gut reaction? What is your feelings? What do you feel about this solution? Oh, get a better catering company. I feel good about this, I feel good about this. And, obviously, if you're doing this with a group of people, you're not going to have everyone with the exact same feeling. So if there's more than one person, if you're working with, jot down their immediate feelings too, Everyone just get your feelings out. Here is what we want our feelings to be. It doesn't matter. There's no such thing as a good or bad feeling about this. There is no right or wrong feeling, So we're going to just put our feelings down in this red hat, okay? And then we have our white hat. Once we get all our feelings down, the white hat is known as the data hat, okay? So basically, this is a reference that probably everyone has heard, but no one even remembers the connotation or the actual series this originates from. Just the facts, ma'am? So basically, what we just want here is just the facts. What do you need to know? Okay, well, we need to know what this catering company offers. What are they offering? We'll just put that like, what does catering company offer? We'll have to know that. What is their price? What is their range? Are we outside of their range geographically? We're dealing with food, so allergens? Are we also dealing with, contracts? How long is a contract? Do we have an existing contract? I apparently spelled allergens incorrectly. There we go. All this different stuff that we would have to figure out, cost, I already put what is their price, all this different stuff. What do we need to know? It does not mean that it's just all the information we have, it's just all the information we also need to have in order to make this decision. And then, of course, we have, once we get all the things that we think we need to know, let's start thinking about what are the potential risks? What are the potential downsides? Now, this is also where I ask people to not dig too deeply into the naming conventions of these hats, because, we wear black to a funeral in America, but if you were to go to Japan, they wear white to a funeral. So the whole color theory, pseudoscience kind of flies out the window when you go into different geographical locations. But in this particular instance, the black hat is we're just looking at the potential risks, the things we need to look out for. This does not mean you be a negative Nancy, okay? This just means what is it we need to worry about? What are the potential outcomes that we don't want? How many, potentially one of the risks is, students dislike it. Students dislike the change. Maybe they don't like it. Or maybe we need new equipment. Maybe we need new equipment because our equipment doesn't have the needs this catering company needs. Maybe we need new ovens that go to a different temperature setting, or maybe they need electric instead of gas. I don't know. Maybe there's the transition time. We have a transition time going on because it's going to take people some time to get used to the new status quo, so things might be slower in the eventual changeover. All these different things that we need to think about. Now, rule of thumb is I kind of want you to have like 3 things you need to know, 3 risks, 3 of this, 3 of that, so on and so forth. I want you to at least have 3 of these, 3 big meaningful things that you can think of. And once you have all the risks, yeah, we can go and label all the potential risks we could have over and over and over again, but let's think of the positives. Let's be bright and cheery and sunny. So let's be the yellow hat now. Let's list off the things that we could potentially do that's better. What are the potential good outcomes of this? Well, if the food's better, we might have more students buying lunches. We might have more lunches. We might have better social interactions. We might have healthier students. We can think of a bunch of different things that are positive about changing the catering company here. So we have all these different things that we also want to look out for as far as positives. And then, because let's be honest, how many times is the first solution you ever have going to be the best solution you think of? Probably not. So we're going to just think up two other solutions. That's what the green hat is. It's the alternatives. So basically, what alternatives do we have? So we still want to, school food is bad. I want better school food. What else can we do? We could get a better catering company. But we could also, I don't know, what else could we do? We could potentially have, we can have restaurants. We can have restaurants rent space in the cafeteria. We can do that. I completely butchered that word. Restaurants. That's a second idea there we have. What about a third idea? I don't know. We can go entirely vegan. We can go entirely vegan. Why don't we go that? And of course, if you have more options you want to go with, you can feel free to go in and, enter another one. And that was not what I wanted to have happen there. 3, you can, start typing out whatever it is you want to put in. You can have more options for all you want. Okay? And then, what you use in that green hat right here, my alternative solution 1, oh, well, that's going to be this one right here, solution 2 now. So solution 2 was restaurants rent space in the cafeteria. So renting to restaurants. I did not spell it correctly either. There we go. So renting to restaurants. And now immediately, what is the red hat? What is our immediate feelings of this solution? Solution 2. What data do we need to know for solution 2? What are the risks for solution 2? What are the positives of solution 2? And then, of course, oh, look, we also have a solution 3 here. What's solution 3? Oh, look, it's that third thing you thought of. So my third thing I thought of was entirely vegan. So what is the red hat? What are the immediate feelings of going entirely vegan? What is the data we need to know for entirely vegan? What are the potential risks of entirely vegan? What is the potential positives of entirely vegan? So basically, and if you want to, you can always, just copy and paste these areas and just make solution 4, solution 5, solution 6. If you really came up with a bunch of different things in this green hat, go ahead. But then at the end of the day, I want you to pick which of the solutions out of everything you decided, which one did you pick? And then I want you to have a reason why. And the reason why is going to be, well, I don't know, maybe this one has too many risks. Oh, but this one has a lot of possibilities. But you know what? This one really fits the criteria I was going for to begin with. So don't forget about that criteria. So I want you to have a reasoning of why. Why did you pick the solution you wanted out of all those other possible things you had? We are going to be weighing the positives and the negatives, the pluses and the minuses, the yin and the yangs, okay? We're going to try to come to an informed decision based on going through a process and trying to determine what it is that we want to do. So what you'll see is you will see this worksheet, and you will see this worksheet without all the little notes in it. So, and you'll see this online, and I want you to just go and take your time and come up with a solution to something that you just have an everyday problem with. So go ahead and have fun and, try to apply this all into your everyday life, just for everything else. It's all about learning processes and skills. Because if you know how to find an answer to something, well, then even if you don't know the immediate answer, you can still find it. So everyone have fun with that, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.